For more on this, I'm now joined by Frédéric Bérard. He is a political commentator and professor at the University of Montreal. Thanks so much for taking the time to talk to us this Saturday morning.
My pleasure.
Okay, so we were just hearing that report by Ashley Burke about that cabinet shuffle that happened yesterday. Is this enough to save Prime Minister Justin Trudeau?
Well, I think not, no, because Jagmeet Singh just mentioned that he will vote to overthrow that government anytime soon. So I'm quite sure that this government is ending in the very near future.
Let's talk about the strategy here. Looking at the cabinet appointments specifically, like Dave McGuinty, Nathaniel Erskine-Smith, how does this show the Liberal Party strategy to try to stabilize their government right now?
I think that Trudeau is trying to inject some new blood and show to the public, to the population, to the voters that, see, this is my new government. You can give us a chance so we can make the job done. And he is rewarding at the same time loyal soldiers as McGuinty. But the thing is that I think that the population will really like to have some election. Probably this winter, at the latest this spring. So I guess that this will not be enough to convince them to give another chance to that government.
There have been calls for some time now for Prime Minister Justin Trudeau to step down, including from MPs who have called on Trudeau to resign. Let's talk about the pressure that he's feeling right now. Do you think he's feeling that pressure? I know he's taking some time to think about this. What will the next few weeks look like for him as we approach 2025?
I can tell you that he's feeling the pressure. Yeah, that's for sure. But you know what? He's not the first one with that type of pressure. Just recall when Jean Chrétien was pushed by Paul Martin's team for quite a few years. I mean, that was quite similar in a way. I think that as of now, Trudeau will think about his future during Christmas. I will not be surprised if he decides to resign after the holidays. But at the same time, I would not be surprised if he decides to keep going, because the guy is a fighter. He won 3 elections, and he's not a bad campaigner at all. And we all know that Pierre Poilievre have some, serious weaknesses in a way. And I think that Trudeau would really like to exploit them during an election campaign.
We'll get to Pierre Poilievre in just a moment, but you did touch on NDP leader Jagmeet Singh. He's a key ally of Trudeau's, and he has pledged to bring down the Liberal government. And he said, quote, "The Liberals don't deserve another chance." So how big of a blow is that comment to the Prime Minister right now?
I mean, the Singh was the only hope that Trudeau could have to stay at power for another few months, let's say that. So now it's quite sure that this government will be overthrown probably in January. So we're going to have to call an election a few days later. And as for Trudeau, obviously Singh was a great ally for a few years now, but now let's say that the party is over, let's say that.
And we know Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre has called for an early recall of Parliament. You've touched on what the new year could look like. You just mentioned the spring potentially. How likely is it, though, that we could see a spring election?
Actually, as of now, I would say it's 100% sure, because, as I said, the only hope for Trudeau was the support of Singh. So now you have Blanchet, Singh, and Poilievre asking for an election. So there's no way for Trudeau to hang up. So let's let's brace ourselves for an election very soon.
Okay, so we know that he's going to take, Trudeau that is, he's going to take some time over the Christmas break to think. Do you think that's some soul searching there? And you also mentioned that you wouldn't be surprised if he resigned, but you wouldn't be surprised if he stayed. Are you leaning towards anything in your opinion? Do you think he'll step down?
You know what? I think that the guy might stay. I'm not saying he will, but he might, because in his head, I mean, Trudeau was a little prince. Don't forget about that, because he was raised at the 24 Sussex as a little prince of Canada. He thinks that Canadians, still love him, and he will probably try to get another shot at it, especially because Pierre Poilievre is some kind of mini Trump, as we might say. And he's probably saying to himself, well, during an electoral campaign, I'll be able to show each and every weaknesses of Poilievre. So let's do the fight, because those two guys don't like each other much, right? And Trudeau, as I said, is a great campaigner. Poilievre too. But I'm quite sure that Trudeau would really like to have another chance to have a chance to beat him during the election. But the thing is that, and when you lost all your caucus, or major part of your caucus, might be just too difficult for him to keep going without any kind of serious team.
And we'll see what the Canadians have to say too, and how much change they truly want to see. Thank you so much for your time on this Saturday morning. That's political commentator and professor at the University of Montreal, Frédéric Bérard.